Welcome back to SuperBike Intelligence, everyone. It's always great to have you here. And today, we're diving into something truly special. Something that feels like MV Agusta has been teasing us with for years. The whispers, the leaked sketches, the factory rumors. All of it has finally led us to this moment. Because the bike everyone has been waiting for, the MV Agusta SuperVeloce 1200, is coming in 2026, and it is shaping up to be one of the most stunning, emotional, and flat-out fascinating machines the brand has ever built. Before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any updates from the world of high-performance motorcycles. The SuperVeloce name has always been about blending art and speed, history and innovation, and the raw, goosebump-inducing charm of MV's racing roots. The 800 version set the template with its retro-futuristic bodywork, its sculpted fairings, and that signature tail section that looks like it was carved by an Italian designer who drinks espresso for breakfast. But the 1200, this one takes that foundation and pushes it to a completely different level. Not just more engine, but more presence, more ambition, more of that MV Agusta emotion. What's exciting about the 1200 is that MV didn't just scale up the 800. Instead, they've shaped the entire design around the bigger platform. The stance is more muscular, the proportions are more dramatic, and the silhouette carries this long, sweeping aggression that reminds me of the old GP bikes from the 1970s, but modernized in a way only MV can. The fairings flow tighter to the frame, the fuel tank sits with more authority, and that round headlight, the signature of the SuperVeloce line, now sits inside a deeper, more sculpted housing. It looks like a vintage racing helmet brought to life, but the real headline is what MV Agusta has done with the engine. The company has been very protective of its triple-cylinder heritage, but with the move toward efficiency and performance, the new 1200 brings something fresh without betraying the brand. It's still a fire-breathing inline-3, but this time it's paired with a mild hybrid assist system. Not a full EV, not a bulky hybrid, just a compact electric assist designed to give a torque boost off the line, sharpen the mid-range, and smooth out the power delivery when you're cruising. It feels like the future, but still sounds and behaves like a proper MV. The hybrid element also allows the bike to run a silent start mode. Imagine pressing the starter, hearing nothing but a soft electric hum, and rolling out of your driveway without waking the entire neighborhood. Then, with a twist of the throttle, the triple roars to life like it's been waiting to pounce. It's a beautiful blend of practicality and performance, something MV has never really prioritized before, but it works shockingly well in this new direction. One of the most unexpected changes for the 2026 model is how versatile the SuperVeloce 1200 has become. MV hasn't turned it into an adventure bike or anything crazy, but they have added a new adaptive terrain riding mode. This subtly adjusts the suspension and throttle response so the bike doesn't panic on rougher roads, gravel patches, or even mild off-road situations. It's not meant for trail riding, but it gives you peace of mind when you're touring somewhere unpredictable. I tease MV Agusta giving you permission to explore roads you wouldn't normally take on a high-end Italian sports machine. The suspension has also taken a huge leap. MV has traditionally used premium components, but the 1200 introduces a new electronically controlled setup that reads the road in real time and adjusts itself instantly. Hit a bump mid-corner and the bike gently corrects. Dive into a tight bend and it firms up with confidence. It's the kind of system that makes you feel like a better rider without demanding anything in return. And you can't talk about a modern MV without mentioning the interior, or in motorcycle terms, the cockpit. The SuperVeloce 1200 brings one of the most refined displays MV has ever developed. The dash is a wider floating-style unit with deep blacks, vibrant colors, and a layout that feels like it was inspired by luxury Italian car clusters. Navigation looks cleaner, the ride mode animations are gorgeous, and the whole interface has this calm, elegant feel. It finally feels like the visuals match the exterior beauty. MV also added a new feature called Heritage View, which transforms the display into a retro analog style cluster with digital precision. It's one of those emotional touches that just makes you smile. The perfect blend of nostalgia and tech, When it comes to sound, the new 1200 does not disappoint. With the hybrid system allowing for more efficient tuning, MV has actually been able to focus on making the exhaust note even more theatrical. The triple has a deeper rumble at low RPM and a sharper, more exotic scream at the top. It's the kind of sound that makes you turn your head even if you're trying to pretend you're not impressed. The titanium pipes, the triple exit tips, the way they sculpted the rear to make the exhaust look like art. MV knows what they're doing. The riding position is also slightly more relaxed compared to the older 800. It's still sporty, still focused, but MV has clearly listened to customers who wanted longer distance comfort without losing the character. The bars are a touch higher, the seat padding is more thoughtfully shaped, and the new seat foam adapts to your body over time. It feels like a bike built not just for the track or the cafe, but for real riding. Hours of it. On longer rides, the mild hybrid system offers an unexpected bonus: smoother low-speed control. U-turns, tight parking lots, slow traffic. Everything feels easier because the electric assist fills in those moments where the engine would normally feel a little jerky or impatient. It's a small detail, but it completely changes the personality of the bike in the best way. The chassis dynamics have taken a noticeable step forward too. MV is using a lighter subframe, new weight distribution, and slightly revised geometry to make the 1200 handle like a bike half its size. You get this incredible sensation of agility when you flick it from side to side, but with the authority and stability of a leader-class machine. It feels like your body and the bike are working in perfect conversation. And of course, design is where MV Agusta never fails. The new paint schemes are a mix of deep racing reds, metallic blacks, pearl whites, and a stunning gold trim option that looks like something straight out of a museum exhibit. The detailing around the tank, the stitching on the seat, the carbon accents around the belly pan, even the bolts and fasteners feel premium. It's a machine that demands a double take every single time you walk past it. The tail section has been completely redesigned while keeping the iconic round taillight. Now it's recessed deeper, surrounded by a more sculpted rear cowl that extends slightly further, giving the whole bike a stretched, aerodynamic profile. It's a masterclass in design evolution. Instantly recognizable, but undeniably modern. The fuel efficiency has also improved thanks to the hybrid assist. You're getting more range, less heat, and a more relaxed cruising character. For a brand that usually doesn't prioritize practicality, this is a huge shift. MV seems to have realized that riders today want emotion and soul, but they also appreciate convenience, comfort, and versatility. The SuperVeloce 1200 hits that sweet spot beautifully. Now let's talk pricing, because this is where things get interesting. MV Agusta has never been shy about positioning themselves as a premium, almost boutique motorcycle brand. The 800 already sits at a high price point, so the 1200 with the hybrid system, electronic suspension, new dash, updated design, and that beautiful Italian craftsmanship is expected to land somewhere in the $27,000 to $32,000 range, depending on options. It's expensive, absolutely, but that's part of the MV identity. You're not buying just a bike, you're buying a piece of rolling sculpture. When you compare the 1200 to the older SuperVeloce 800, the differences are clear but balanced. The 800 is still a gem. Lightweight, sharp, raw, and dripping with heritage. But the 1200 feels like the next chapter. It's more powerful, more refined, more advanced, and more emotional in its own futuristic way. They're similar in spirit, but the 1200 feels like the model that carries MV into the next decade. Interestingly, the new bike also has a more stable cooling system and improved heat management. This means you're not cooking your legs every time you stop at a traffic light. The hybrid assist lets the engine run cooler in urban situations, which makes the bike more manageable and more enjoyable in everyday environments. Another cool touch is the new aerodynamics. MV has added small winglets that are subtly integrated into the fairings, almost invisible unless you're looking from the right angle. They're designed to keep the bike planted at higher speeds without ruining the clean vintage-inspired look. It's a great example of function hiding inside form. For customization lovers, MV is offering a pretty extensive accessory catalog this time. Performance seats, carbon packages, racing-style windshields, luggage solutions for touring, and even a limited edition exhaust system crafted from lightweight materials. It gives every rider a chance to make the SuperVeloce 1200 feel uniquely theirs. What makes the new SuperVeloce so special is that it feels like MV Agusta finally found a balance between emotional design and modern engineering. For years, the brand has been known for beauty and intensity, but sometimes at the cost of comfort or practicality. The 1200 is the first bike in a long time that seems to blend romance and reality. The dream of Italian craftsmanship with the usability of a modern machine. When you look at the bigger picture, it's clear MV is evolving. The mild hybrid system, the adaptive riding modes, the upgraded ergonomics. These are all signs that the company is preparing for the future without giving up what makes them unique. They're not chasing trends, they're redefining what a beautiful, high-performance motorcycle can be in a changing world. And that's what makes the SuperVeloce 1200 so exciting. It's more than a bigger engine or a prettier design. It represents a shift, a new philosophy at MV Agusta, a blend of heritage and innovation, emotion and logic, art and technology. You get the feeling that if this is where MV is heading, the next decade of motorcycles is going to be something truly extraordinary. If you made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out today. This has been one of the most exciting bikes to talk about in a long time, and I can't wait to hear what you think about it. Would you buy the new SuperVeloce 1200? Do you prefer the raw charm of the 800? Or are you excited about the hybrid future? Let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SuperBike Intelligence for more deep dive motorcycle content. Until next time, ride safe and stay passionate.